Next week, Roman Reigns will make a big announcement about SummerSlam.
Nice.
Wow.
Yep.
Bray Wyatt did a promo. So it starts backstage. Then they play his music.
For whatever this is worth, since everybody's been asking me about this, I asked about Cena, and I was told that it's not Cena, because they did a segment. You know, they did the Roman Reigns thing, and then they also did a segment with John Cena. And they made a point of saying that John Cena is a free agent. And I guess the idea is that he'll be on Raw. So they are finally...
What a shocker.
They're giving up the exclusiveness. He'll be on Raw and SmackDown. So I guess they know that they know that he's the only draw, and I guess that they feel that they need him on both shows now, even though that goes against everything that they were doing before.
So Bray does this promo backstage. Then he comes down to the ring. He's mad at Seth Rollins this week. Seth comes out, says Bray's a coward, tells him to prove him wrong. Bray vanishes, appears back on the screen, and says Seth may slay kings, but he'll never be able to kill a god. An absolutely nothing segment.
Yep, not much at all.
Hardy's promo, they vowed to retain or win the tag team titles. This was where he had the announcement on July 4th, free agent John Cena returns to SmackDown.
Returning on July the 4th, that's at least like with this game. I mean, with this thing with Lesnar, it's like they really didn't know until, what was it, Thursday night. So, and then they already had the wheels in motion. So it was kind of like they were just kind of screwed by that. But you kind of do know in advance about July the 4th, and that it's like a terrible night to do something big, and that John Cena's return should be big. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, you tell me a night to avoid putting his return on, that's the one. But that's what they're doing.
We had Apollo Crews versus Kalisto, the feud that will never end. So Titus O'Neil is trying to recruit Akira Tozawa. He bought him front row tickets for this match. He's out there in a suit, the smallest adult in the entire front row. Had a short match. Apollo pins him clean with the power bomb. Tozawa claps. Hopefully this feud is over. Titus drags Tozawa into the ring, raises his arms, takes some selfies. They're playing it up like Tozawa is a confused 5-year-old child who has no idea what's going on.
I got the impression that he knows what's going on. He doesn't want to be there, but he's...
No, this is what they said on commentary. They said, he's confused. He doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah.
That's going to get him over. Because you see he's Japanese. He doesn't speak the language. So he's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. At Miz meeting with Heath and Rhino.
That was so goofy.
Miz wants Heath to join his entourage. He says, Heath...
Why would you want Heath Slater in your entourage?
He just needs some bodies, I guess. He says Heath can have anything he wants. And Heath says, well, when I was a little kid going to wrestling events, all I wanted was the Intercontinental Championship.
Didn't we just do this one with, Neville and Perkins?
Yeah, exactly. And so Miz says, well, join me and I'll give you a shot at the title someday. So somehow this comes around to Rhino saying, well, he's already got a partner, and now you need to get a partner, because I'm going to Kurt, and we're going to have a tag match tonight. And that's the end of the segment. So keep that in mind. Miz has been told in advance, go get a partner. We had Alexa promo. Show recap of what happened last week. Then she did a promo talking about what happened last week. She's out there rambling when Nia comes out. Nia wants a title shot. Alexa's trying to be her friend to avoid it, trying to turn her on the other girls.
So this is like the third exact same storyline.
Yep. Mickey and Dana come out. Everybody argues back and forth. Segment is dying a death. Emma returns. Makes her big return to television. Says she's back. She wants to take her place at the top of the women's division. Sasha comes out. This blew my mind. She comes out in the middle of this segment that's absolutely dead, and everybody starts chanting her name. And she says, hey, can y'all please stop? I got something to say. And sure enough, they all stopped, and they were dead again. I couldn't even believe it. So they're all dead.
She had something to say.
Dude. Oh, my God. So the crowd's dead. She hits the ring. She attacks Bliss. They have a brawl. This leads to a 6-person tag. It's Sasha, Mickey, and Dana against Alexa, Nia, and Emma. Sasha gets odd tag, runs wild on Emma. Emma tries to tag Alexa. Alexa walks out on her team. Nia is sent outside. Mickey dives onto her. Sasha taps out Emma with the bank statement. Hell of a return for Emma. And then everybody posed as the segment ended.
So, is Banks getting the next title shot and not Nia Jax?
God only knows. I have no idea.
Okay. I have no idea.
Then we had this interview. If you have Raw, you must watch this. So it's Corey Graves and Bayley. And Corey Graves says, so what the hell happened at the pay-per-view? And she says, well, I've never been in a situation where I need to inflict pain. I'm not here to send people to the hospital. I'm here to put smiles on people's faces.
Jeez Louise.
Corey Graves.
Wrestling.
That's what he said. He goes, well, it's pro wrestling, so, like,
yeah.
How's this going to work? And she says, well, I want to be 100% Bayley. I'm not going to change for anybody. I'm going to do what's best for me. She says, in my journal, on day 1, 9 years ago, I wrote that I want to be the best. And just because I lost to Alexa doesn't mean that's not still my goal. I want my belt back. I want to walk into WrestleMania as the Raw Women's Champion. And he says, well, I want to wish you good luck. There's a pause. Bayley says, Corey, I just want to know if before we go I can get a hug. He's like, She just kind of creeps up onto him, and she grabs him, she hugs him.
So maybe she got the hots for him.
They cut to the other side, and he's got a look of, like, shock and horror on his face. Like, what in the hell is happening? And then she, like, rubs his back, and she goes, I rubbed your back.
So she's got the hots for him.
Oh, my God. This was so awkward. This was painfully awkward.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why my gut is that this is, a bad direction. I just think
I told you she's going to kiss a boy. I told you this months ago.
Well, that's a real bad idea.
It's terrible. This is horrible.
Oh yeah. You never know with these romance things, because sometimes these things work when they look like they won't. But my gut watching this was, man, this is so wrong. But we'll see.
It was just so weird at the end. Like, the interview itself wasn't that bad. I mean, it was kind of stupid. Like, I'm not here to hurt people or anything, but I thought,
yeah, I mean, it was more bad than good, because you can't be out there as a pro wrestler and then go in there that, I didn't want to hurt anyone. It's like there's ways you can say it, but you can't say it the way she said it. I mean, because then it's just kind of like,
no.
Because the way she said it, you're just sitting there going like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you in this, you don't want to hurt anyone. This is a violent business. And it's like, if it's not a violent business and it's just a business about smiles and there's no violence in it, it's like, we might as well watch Ice Capades.
So we have Heath Slater and Rhino versus Miz and his partner. And Slater and Rhino come out, and then Miz comes out by himself. Now, keep in mind, they told him, you've got to get a partner. This was not a situation where the GM said, go to the ring and I'll find you a partner. Miz had to find a partner. So Miz goes to the ring and he stands there like he's expecting a partner to come out. But apparently he'd never gotten one, because a bear comes out. The same bear from last week. Some dude in a bear suit. He's riding a stupid tricycle. There's stupid music playing. It's so stupid. Gets on the ring apron, and Miz is acting like he has no idea who this bear is. So the fans, they're chanting for the bear. We want bear. Announcers are busy making stupid bear puns. I swear to God, they double team Miz, but then he cuts off Heath Slater all by himself. He's basically winning against two guys. And finally, the bear makes a blind tag. The bear gets in the ring, puts Slater in a bear hug. Rhino makes a save.
That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Bear tags Miz back in. Miz attacks the bear.
You know what else was all these things where the announcers kept calling like unbearable and it like this bear is like what steals picnic baskets and is like, prevents forest fires or something.
Yeah.
Just all these silly ass references.
Yeah.
It's like they were okay for like a short period of time, but then it just became that corporate speak thing where it's like, that they're forced to say this and it's not funny anymore. And they just keep doing it. Oh, God.
Well, the worst part was when the match is over, they're sitting there acting like they're so embarrassed to be a part of it. And it's like, you guys were calling bear puns the entire match. Like, this is preposterous. So, ends up with Miz attacking the bear. He presumes it's Dean Ambrose, but he unmasks the bear. It's just some dude. Slater throws Miz back in the ring. He's selling on the ropes and talking to Maurice when the bear gets back in the ring. Gives Slater the double arm DDT. It's the old switcheroo. Pulls off the mask. This time it is Dean Ambrose. Miz runs, knocks his wife off the apron on accident. She races to the back. Miz goes after Dean. Dean hits the DDT. And then the referee hasn't thrown the match out yet. There's been two bears, a multitude of partners. One partner just turned on the other guy. Miz is down, and Dean throws Slater on top, and Heath Slater pins the Miz. This will go on the cover of Death of WWE. Terrible.
I didn't like it, so went too long.
We had Neville and Rich Swann. Neville attacked him with a bell, beat his ass, put him in the rings of Saturn, submitted him immediately. Another challenger dead. So,
well, this wasn't a submission. This was a non-match.
Oh, I see. I apologize. Well, there he's put the boots to him, kicked him out of the ring, says another pretender down. How many do I have to go through before I get what I deserve, which is respect? Calls out Tozawa, but advises him to tread carefully. So I guess that's the next match. So Gallows and Anderson are in the ring. Well, first they had Sheamus and Cesaro plugging the Hardys book. Then we have Gallows and Anderson in the ring for a match with Enzo and Cass. Cass is laid out backstage again. The Revival is lurking in the background. Enzo walks up. Cass says, "Man, it's the hardest I've ever been hit in my life. One shot and I was down." So Gallows and Anderson are mocking them in the ring. But the music hits, and Enzo and Cass come down to the ring. Cass is holding his head. Seems like a potential concussion issue, but he wrestles anyway. So, hits the ring. He's beating on Anderson. Kind of keeps losing his balance and falling down. Bad officiating. The referee just lets this continue. Tags in Enzo. Of course, in storyline, Enzo is hopeless. He is immediately booted, hit with the Magic Killer, and pinned clean in the middle. And they go to beat him up again, and the Big Show comes out, saves Enzo, helps him up. They have a big hug, and right as they're hugging, Cass stands up and he sees his partner hugging the Big Show. And he's very sad and disappointed.
Yeah, this poor guy's jealous.
Another very good Truth promo, and then they go backstage, and Enzo's thanking Big Show. And Enzo Amore, after having his life saved by the Big Show, has the temerity to ask the guy, "Are you sure you're not the one that's beating up Big Cass?" And of course, Show is outraged and says he's got one word to describe Enzo's partner. He spells it out for him, the audience screams, and that's it.
Yep. So it's really feeling like Cass is going heel.
It certainly is. Although,
certainly heading in that direction.
Somebody on Twitter DM'd me with a storyline here. They said, what if Kurt Angle is the one who attacked Enzo? And Cass, I guess. And somebody caught it on tape, and Corey Graves has footage, and that's why Angle says it will destroy his reputation. It will destroy him as the GM. We all know that Corey Graves hates Enzo.
Then how do we get to Angle and Triple H?
Is that where we're going?
Yep.
How about that? I'd have to think about this. I'd have to think about that. I guess we'll see. Samoa Joe promo says it's never about the words, it's been about actions. Tonight he showed Brock exactly what it's going to feel like 4 weeks from now. He's going to put him in the Coquina Clutch, put him to sleep, and become the new Universal Champion. So that's the move the match is going to be built around, is that Coquina Clutch. And then finally, Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro, best of 3 falls. Hardys ran wild early. Jeff tried a handstand. Sheamus booted him and pinned him. That's the first fall. The heels worked over Jeff. Matt got a hot tag. Bunch of near falls. Hit Sheamus with a side effect on the apron. Twist of fate on Cesaro. 1, 2, 3. That's the second fall. And then basically the last fall. This was just a match, but the shine, the heat, and the comeback were 3 different falls. Last fall was just a bunch of near falls. Cesaro went for the neutralizer. Matt got out. Jeff and Sheamus got hot tags. End up outside. And yes, the Raw main event ended via count out.
Double count out.
Yep. And they never made an announcement. They just played the Hardys' music, and they gave the belts to the champs. That's how the show went off the air.
Yep.
This was a poor edition of Monday Night Raw.
Yep. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd go poor, but I would go close to poor. There was some bad stuff, and the crowd was dead for most of it. I mean, it wasn't a great outing, that's for sure, other than the first segment.